Welcome to Unstoppable Female Entrepreneurs, where business expert and success coach Kelsey Matheson teaches you how to massively grow your business, navigate the mind drama that's holding you back, make more money, and acquire the skills and confidence to become unstoppable.
Hello, my friends. You are listening to Unstoppable Female Entrepreneurs, and this is episode number 12. Happy New Year to you. Welcome to 2022. Cheers to a brand new year, a clean slate full of possibilities. And look, it doesn't matter what happened last year. It doesn't matter what happened over the past 5 years. You have a brand new year ahead to create and grow and have new experiences, new successes, new failures, new achievements, and to truly make this year absolutely incredible. And what I wanted to do for this episode was something fun, but also something that will set you up for the year ahead in a really great way. So every year, I choose a word of the year. Well, at least I started choosing a word of the year in 2018. And every year I set goals for myself, and I've been doing that for as long as I can remember. I look at the things that I want to achieve both personally and professionally, and my plan every year is to look over those goals regularly, at least each quarter, as we navigate the year ahead. Now, with my clients, I also use something called a business map to help them create their goals, and it also helps them to stay on track while they work towards achieving those goals. And the business map helps to also create a track record of all of the actions, the energy, the failures, lessons, the amount of time, all the things that went into each quarter as they work towards their accomplishments. And then along the way, we look at what the results were. And that helps us to move forward in an effective and productive way. It's all about achieving results. And the business map is something that I use with every single one of my own businesses, and I use it with my clients to help them grow their businesses. And one of the reasons why it's such a helpful tool is because we constantly will look at our results. And then based on those results, we can then more effectively map out the next quarter, which will lead us to even greater results. And with each quarter, essentially, we rinse and repeat. Now, the business map is just one of the amazing tools that I use with my clients, but I have to say that this year we are taking the business map to a whole new level. I am diving deeper into using this tool because I want to double and even triple the results that my clients will experience for 2022. And just to give you, a few more details about what this business map is, basically, it's a map for your business. It gives you a bird's eye view of your business. It clarifies what's working, what's not working, how things are moving forward, and if they're moving in the direction that you want them to be moving in, and if the strategies are effective or if they're not. And then based on all that information that it helps to clarify, we can then shift towards a new direction if necessary, or make sure that we stay on course if it's working. So that's the business map. And another tool I love using is something called the Wheel of Success. Now, this gives us a very clear idea on what areas of our business are running smoothly and optimally, and what areas of our business desperately need our attention. Because you will get hurt in the area of your business that you are not good at, that you don't like doing, or that you don't pay attention to. So I'm not going to dive into the business map or the Wheel of Success too much in this episode, but they are two very, very powerful tools that I use with my mastermind clients and with my one-on-one clients. So they get the results that they want, because when they get the results that they're working towards, I also get the results that I want, because I want every single one of my clients to succeed. And I work really, really hard to make that happen. Now, I know that their success is on them and it has nothing to do with me. I know that I cannot take credit for their successes and accomplishments, but my intention with every single one of my clients is for them to achieve their results. And for many of them, the results that they're after right now is reaching their first 100K within their wellness business. So for me, goals are very important, but so is following up on what you set out for yourself at the beginning of the year. I mean, how many of you are guilty of setting goals for yourself, both professionally and personally, and then 12 months goes by, and then you set new goals for the new year. But then in the process of doing that, you're like, oh, I should go back and look at my goals that I set for myself from last year. And as you go through your list, you're like, I don't even remember setting half of these goals. And the last time I probably looked at this list is when I first wrote it out. I know, I've done it too, so many times. So last year, I created a fun new exercise that incorporates my word of the year into my goal setting process to keep me on track. So your word of the year, my friends, is what we're going to talk about today, but we're going to talk about it in the context of helping you reach the goals that you set for yourself for 2022. This is something I incorporated into my goal setting practice last year, and I was so excited about it that I brought it to my mastermind group of wellness entrepreneurs, and I created a free PDF download for other entrepreneurs to use as well, which you can get on my website if you're interested. And the reason I incorporated the word of the year into my goal setting process was because for me, the word of the year represents an area I want to focus on during the year ahead. It helps to give me a focal point for the year. Now, I've always set goals for myself, and for the past 4 years now, I've chosen a word of the year as well. But they were always created separately from each other. They were never consciously correlated. And last year at this time, I thought to myself, if I have a word of the year and goals that I want to accomplish within that same year, then the two should be connected. So I came up with the idea that they should be done together, and I created a process to do just that. It just makes sense that the word you want to focus on for the year should be intimately connected with your goals in order to create the results that you're looking for. So let me share with you my words for the year over the past 4 years. So energy was my word in 2018. And in 2019, my word was trust. In 2020, it was acceptance, which looking back is very interesting, seeing that I chose the word acceptance just a few short months before the whole world shut down. And my word for last year was vitality. So have you chosen a word for 2022 yet? Have you set your goals? Right? We talked about goal setting in episode number 10. And it's okay if you have, and it's okay if you haven't. If you haven't, then we'll go over that with this 5-step process that I'm going to share with you today. And if you have, great. Like I said, maybe you did do the exercise from episode number 10 of this podcast where we broke down our 12-month, our 6-month, and our 3-month goals for 2022. This process will just enhance what you've already done by increasing your chances of massive achievement. Okay, so step 1 is to choose your word of the year. What word do you want to infuse into the year ahead? What do you want to focus on? What would you like more of in your life? What would you like your 2022 guiding word to be? So here are a few examples. Thrive, focus, simplify, flourish, change, gratitude, joy, courage, play, dream, connect, love, balance, commit, lead, health, abundance. So many great words. And of course, the words I used over the past 4 years were energy, trust, acceptance, and vitality. Did any of those resonate with you? Maybe one of them just seemed to explode when you heard it. Or maybe not, and that's okay. This is just a short list. There are so many words to choose from. Just think about the energy you want to capture over the next 12 months when you choose your word for 2022. So after a lot of thought, my word for 2022 will be growth. Now, step 2 in the process is to choose the areas of your life that you want to incorporate the essence of your word. And since this is a podcast for female entrepreneurs, I'm going to assume that you want to incorporate your word into your business. But you can also incorporate it into your relationships or your own health and wellness or your family or your finances or your spirituality. Any area of your life that you want to incorporate more of that energy that your word represents. So I want to incorporate more growth into many areas of my business. I also want to experience more growth in the area of my own personal health and wellness. And I should say that for me, growth could mean increasing in size, but it also means development and progress. And I feel that 2022 is going to be a big year. So by incorporating the energy of growth into the area of health and wellness for me is all about making sure that I am on top of staying healthy, strong, fit, and energized throughout the year. And I also want to incorporate more growth into my relationships, specifically with my husband and my daughter. Now, step number 3 is to take those areas and break them down into specifics. So let's get into the nitty-gritty details of the areas that you choose. So in step 2, I said that I wanted to incorporate more growth into many areas of my business. So what does that look like? Well, I want to focus on growing the number of clients I work with, growing my conversions, growing my following, growing my revenue, growing this podcast. So we're not going to worry about setting goals yet. We just want to break down the areas of your life that you want to incorporate more of the word into specifics so we can get clear and defined goals in the next step. Does that make sense? So let's break this down even further in the area of health and wellness, right? And in the area of my relationships. So basically, I'd like to develop new protocols and routines that will support my health and wellness so I can be a better wife, mother, entrepreneur, friend, sister, daughter, and leader in 2022. And within my relationship with my husband and daughter, I want to grow our connection and improve communication and support my daughter in her growth as she becomes a teenager this year. Now, you'll probably have way more details and specifics, but for the purposes of time within this episode, I just want to give some brief examples. But I highly recommend you dedicate some time to this process and just listen back to this episode as you go through the process if you're not doing it right now. Okay, so step number 4 is goal setting. In this step, you'll take each of those specifics and set some goals to accomplish them. Now, most people fail to achieve their goals because they're not specific enough. They don't prioritize them and they don't know their why. So we'll get to prioritization and your why in the next step, but for now, let's focus on the details of your goals. So one of my specifics was to grow my following. And an example of some of the goals I might set for myself could be to promote my newsletter in dedicated social media posts 3 times per month. That could be one of my goals. And to create a new lead magnet and a new funnel for female wellness entrepreneurs, focusing on my 5-step success formula to making their first $100,000. Or another goal could be to do at least 2 5-day challenges over the course of the year, and maybe to host 1 webinar per quarter. So those could be some of the goals that I would set for myself, specifically to grow my following, right? And those are just a few examples. And notice that that's just one area of growth that I mentioned, right? I also mentioned growing my revenue and the number of clients I work with. So I would set goals for those specific areas as well. And you'll notice that some, of course, are going to cross over, but that's great. So what I mean by that is hosting a webinar, or at least 1 webinar per quarter. Not only is that going to help me grow my following, but that's also going to help me grow the number of clients I work with if my conversion rate is where we want it to be. And if you remember, growing my conversion rate is also one of the areas I want to focus on growing. So it's all intimately connected. But when you write out the goals for each area, it simplifies things and makes them more streamlined, especially for your brain. There's less chaos for your brain to sort out because it's all clearly stated and laid out. And let me offer another example with my plan to incorporate more growth into the area of health and wellness. So I mentioned that I want to develop new protocols and routines that will help to support my health. So maybe that could look like creating a new morning routine and implement it and stick to it every single day. So let me give you another example with my plan to incorporate more growth into the area of health and wellness. So I mentioned that I'd like to develop new protocols and routines that will support my health. So maybe that could look like creating a morning routine, implement it, and then stick to it every single day. That could be one of my goals. Another one could be meditating for at least 20 minutes a day. Another goal could be cutting out alcohol, sugar, and flour from my diet. Or maybe exercising no less than 30 minutes a day and taking a walk outside no less than 45 minutes a day. Or drinking at least 75 ounces of water per day. Again, those are just some of the examples. So this will take some time because you want to set goals for each specific area that you wrote down. And I encourage you to do this. If you're listening to this right now while you're going for a walk, or maybe you're driving and you're not able to actually sit down at this moment and pause the podcast while you do this exercise, make sure to come back and do this exercise. And you might be thinking, oh, Kelsey, but this is so time consuming. It's okay. I can do this all in my head. Listen to me. I promise you, you will feel so motivated and so excited to have these goals outlined for yourself. Plus, they will set you up for success. This is neuroscience, my friends. You will be more successful and you will achieve more by thinking about your goals and then by physically writing them down. I'm sure you've heard before that if you want to achieve a goal, you need to write it down. And I know that sounds cliche, but it actually works, ladies. Trust me. This is worth all the effort and the time that you dedicate to get super clear on what you want to achieve. Trust me, come January 1st, 2023, you will thank me. Okay, step number 5 is the final step. So like I mentioned earlier, most people fail to achieve their goals because they're not specific enough and they don't prioritize them. But it's also because they don't know their why. So you want to ask yourself, why these specific goals? Why do I want to achieve them? Why do I want to make them a priority? And to help you figure out your why, look at the bigger picture. How will achieving this goal impact your life beyond the next 12 months? How will achieving this goal make you feel? How will it enrich your life and impact the lives of your loved ones? What are the resources you have that will support you in achieving these goals? Now, you don't have to answer all of these questions, but write down a few sentences and incorporate some of what I'm describing here. It's important to remember why the heck these goals are important in the first place if you want to have a better chance of accomplishing them. So those are the 5 steps. But if you want this to be different from any other time that you've set goals for yourself, then I offer these fail-proof strategies. Schedule reminders on your phone. We have this really great device that we carry around with us. You can schedule a reminder on your phone. If you've set goals that have specific deadlines or times that you want to focus on them, then set reminders for yourself on your phone or in your calendar or however you keep track of these things. Something else you can do is post a list of your goals where you will see them every single day. Maybe you create a screensaver for your phone on Canva, or maybe you print them out and you put them above your bedside table. But post them somewhere where your brain will register them every single day. Find an accountability partner. Find someone who is also working towards achieving massive goals for the year and meet with them every week or every other week to hold each other accountable and support one another as you both work towards achieving your goals. And something else that is so powerful is reading your goals out loud before you start your day. This is a game changer. I'm telling you, if there's one tip that you take away from this episode, it's this one. Nothing is more powerful than reading your goals out loud as if they've already been accomplished and feeling all the feelings that you'll feel once you've accomplished them. Something else that we don't do enough is celebrate. Celebrate your daily victories that you've had before going to bed, right? Train your brain to see the successes and the growth that you've experienced every single day. And you can do this by writing them down in a journal. You can do this through meditation, right? But celebrate. Just think of the day and go, okay, what were my wins for the day and how can I celebrate them? Train your brain to keep looking for everything you're doing right, for all your successes, for all of your accomplishments. This is something you can do daily. And then you can practice the free meditation that I offer on my website. It's specifically a meditation designed to help you focus and work towards achieving your goals. It's free and it will help you heal your blocks. It will help you shift your mindset and act as a springboard into success. So before we sign off today, the question I have for you is, why did you start your business in the first place? I know in this episode, because of the exercise, there's a ton of questions. But I really want you to think about, why did you start your business in the first place? Because the reason I ask that is it will help you to incorporate your word, your goals, and your why into one cohesive focus point. Remember, where focus goes, energy flows. So let's have all the energy flowing to your goals, to the achievement of your goals. and the lives that are being transformed because of your business, because of you achieving these accomplishments. Happy 2022, everyone. I hope you have an amazing week, and I look forward to connecting with you next time. Ciao for now. Hey, if you'd like a weekly dose of motivation, inspiration, and actionable tips to grow your business while managing all the things, then you need to get on my email list. Just head over to kelseymatheson.com to join my list, and while you're there, check out the awesome free content I give away. If you enjoyed what you heard today, please share with other female entrepreneurs who need some love and support. And of course, if you haven't already, I would be so grateful if you subscribe, rate, and review my show on your favorite podcast player. Thank you for listening, and I look forward to connecting with you next week.